Hi guys, we're on to lesson 5.2. We've learned how to solve systems of linear equations with a table and with graphing. And now today we're going to learn how to do this through substitution. Okay, so we have 3 steps. First, you're going to solve one of the equations for one of the variables. Okay. And then after you get that solution, you're going to take that and substitute it in to the other equation and solve for the other variable that you didn't solve for yet. And then number 3 is substitute the value from step 2 into the one of the original equations above. Now, the steps alone sound a little confusing, but it is actually very simple. So we're going to kind of work through some problems and try these together. So if I were doing this one, I have 2 equations. So first step, equation 1 is already solved for y. So in this case, this is probably the easiest one to start with. If they're not both solved for a variable, then you want to solve for y or solve for x so that variable is isolated. So we're going to take this one and we're going to substitute. So they're saying y is equal to this. So wherever I see a y, I can replace y with 2x minus 4. So we're going to take and substitute 2x minus 4 for the y in equation 2. So we're going to write 7x minus 2y equals 5. That's equation 2. And we know that y is this. So we're going to take this y out and put that in there. So 7x minus 2 times y. And now we're saying y is 2x minus 4. So we're replacing that equals 5. Okay, does that make sense? So we just took the y out and we put in this instead. So now we're going to distribute. So we get 7x minus 4x plus 8 equals 5. I'm going to combine my like terms. So 7x minus 4x is 3x plus 8 equals 5. Subtract 8, and we get 3x equals negative 3. I'm going to move that over here because I ran out of space. 3x equals negative 3. Divide by 3, and x equals negative 1. Oops. Now, I'm going to take this negative 1, and now I'm going to go back to the other equation, equation 1, and I'm going to put in negative 1 for the x, because we said x is negative 1. So we're going to go back to equation 1 and put in negative 1 for x. So y equals 2x minus 4 is my first equation. And I'm going to take out the x. And now, because I know that this is x, I'm going to put negative 1 in here. And I'm going to solve that. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2 minus 4. And negative 2 minus 4 equals negative 6. Okay, so y equals negative 6. So the solution is, here's my y variable, and here's my y, and this is my x. X was negative 1, y is negative 6. So that would be the order or the solution. Oops, sorry, I can't see. That would be my solution, or where they would intersect. Okay, because remember, it's still systems, so this is where the choose lines would intersect. And it's a way to find the answer without actually having to graph it. So what I'd like you to do is do on your own 1, 2, 3, and you're going to turn and do those right here on this page. So go ahead and pause and do that right. Okay, so let's go over these and see how you did. So you don't always have to do them the exact same way, but what I would do, this one doesn't matter which one you substitute in for which one. So I'm going to take and substitute in, I'm going to start with this one and substitute this in for y. So I'm going to take y equals 2x plus 3, and I'm going to take this y out, and I'm going to put in this for y. So this is going to go in for this y. So 5x equals 2x plus 3. And so now I'm going to move this over to move my x terms over together. Those are gone. 3 equals 3x divided by 3 on both sides, and x equals 1. So right now I know my x amount is 1. Now I have to go find my y. Okay, so I can put it into either one of these equations. This one's smaller, so I'm going to do this one. So I'm going to do y equals 5 times my x, and my x is 1, so I'm going to take out the x, and I'm going to put 1 here. Let's make it a different color so we can see that. There we go. And so we get y equals 5 times 1 is 5, so my y is 5. And so that would be my solution, okay? On this one, all right, this one's already solved for y, so y is equal to this. So I'm going to take that out and put it into this equation. So we're going to start with 4x plus 2 times y, and we're saying y is 1/2 x minus 5. And that's going to be equal to 0. So now we have to do distributive property, and we're going to do 4x plus 2 times 1/2 is 1, or 1x, and 2 times negative 5 is negative 10 equals 0. So let's combine these, which gives me 5x, and minus 10 equals 0. Add 10 to both sides, and that gives me 5x equals 10. Divide by 5 on both sides, and x equals 2. So right now I know that x is 2. Now, knowing that x is 2, I can go put that into either one. I'm going to do it here because it's going to give me y. So I'm going to do y equals 1/2. I'm going to take out the x and put in 2. Let me show you this one. 2 minus 5. So y equals, what's half of 2 is 1. 1 minus 5 is y equals negative 4. So negative 4 is my y. So this would be my solution. On the last one, you should have had, okay, now this one's different. We have x. So we're going to take this and put it in for x. So let's start out with 2 times 5y plus 3 plus 4y equals negative 1. So we're going to distribute this, and that gives us 10y plus 6 plus 4y equals negative 1. Let's combine our y values, so we get 14y plus 6 equals negative 1 minus 6 minus 6. That gives us 14y equals negative 7. Divide by 14 divided by 14. And we get y equals negative 1/2 when we simplify that. So for our ordered pair, we have negative 1/2 in our y. Now we're going to take this and substitute either one. And I'm going to do it this because it's going to give me x. So I'm going to do x equals 5. Take the y out and put in negative 1/2. So I guess I was doing this a different color, so it's easier to see. Sorry. Plus 3. Okay, so x equals 5 times negative 1/2 is negative 5/2, which is also the same as negative 2.5, plus 3. X is going to be equal to 1/2 as a positive. So my x value is 1/2. So my solution is 1/2 negative 1/2. So that's how you would do those.